Good afternoon, Dr. Jacqueline and Dr. Kenny. Today I would like to make some amendments that I learned from after the dissection class for this my whole research topic. So the first of all, the problem statement speaks about moral cultivation and also the belief and value, which is the reality of leadership. But over here they are emphasizing on the outcome, and they neglect the real problem, which is on the moral cultivation. So what I must do over here is I must quote further on, because I just quote one here, I should do more quotation, do more literature review, in other words. And later, going towards the purpose of research is to widen and enhance knowledge of ethical leadership. I should not say in Malaysia, I should scope it to the narrow down to my research topic, relevant to my research topic, which is the Selangor region private school. And then followed by the next one, provide this empirical evidence. Here is the wrong word to use. I should use qualitative evidence or qualitative findings, because this is not quantitative, it's qualitative, that could be taken into consideration of the private education board, so that I don't mix it up with the governmental board, and also to encourage ethical leadership in private school once again. And then the other purpose would be to not organize professional programs, because I wouldn't be organizing. It is to suggest professional programs for leaders at school. Okay, moving on to the next one would be the research objective over here. The first research objective would be to a certain understanding, to a certain, sorry, I just used to a certain, or it's either or understand or investigate, so I will use to a certain, the practice of ethical leaders in private school. That would be the first one, the research objective. Research question, sorry. Yes. And then followed by the next one, this will not be relevant to my second research question. So this one will be to gather principles perspective on ethical leadership. I wrote it here. Okay, and then the third research objective would be exploring ethical practice among school leaders. So to describe the practice of ethical leadership in private school, the research question would be, how can ethical leadership among school leaders be described? And then followed by, to gather principles perspective on ethical leadership, the research question would be, what are the perspective of school leaders on ethical practice? And the last one is the exploring ethical practice among school leaders. What extent school leaders practice ethical leadership? So this is the three research questions that I should work on. Instead of various meaning conceptualize, I should use the word perspective instead of that. And then the sub-research question, coming to the sub-research question, I can break this down into a few sub-research questions. First one is, what are the traits, practice of principles that can fall under ethical leadership? There's three here, there's another one. How do they practice ethical leadership? And why do they practice ethical leadership? How and why, and the traits as well, that how they practice ethical leadership. And what I learned from today's class as well would be to use a very consistent word or term or theory. Like let's say I use ethical leadership, I should just use ethical leadership. I should not mix it up with moral leadership, or just to not confuse the examiner. And then to explain why I choose private school is also very important over here. Dr. Kenny mentioned about why it's important to mention why I choose a certain setting. So that would be because it's important to contextualize or to relate to private school and the problem that I have. Okay, so maybe I could say things, I could include on why is based the tax evasion issues or CBT, fraud, or lack of study even in private school. So these are or private school are faced with this ethical issue, and this should all be backed up with my literature review. Thank you.